the yellow wallpaper. I lay in bed, staring up at the yellow wallpaper that covered the walls of my prison. It was a sickly, nauseating shade of yellow, with a pattern that seemed to writhe and twist before my eyes. I had begged my husband and the doctors to let me leave this room, to let me see the sunlight and breathe fresh air, but they insisted that this was for my own good. They said that I was ill, that I needed rest and quiet to recover. But I knew the truth, they were trying to control me, to silence my voice and my mind. The wallpaper was the only thing I had to look at, day after day, as I was confined to this room. I would trace the patterns with my eyes, trying to find some meaning or logic in them, but they always seemed to elude me. They seemed to mock me, to remind me of the prison I was in. I tried to keep myself busy, to pass the time. I would write in my journal, scribbling down my thoughts and feelings in the hopes that someone would find them and understand. I would read the books that my husband brought me, but they were all dull and uninspiring. I would try to sleep, but the wallpaper seemed to watch me, to keep me awake. As the days passed, I began to feel my mind slipping away. The wallpaper seemed to be alive, to be speaking to me in a language I could not understand. I saw figures in the patterns, faces that leered and sneered at me. I heard voices whispering in my ear, telling me to do things, to hurt myself, to hurt others. I knew that I was going mad, but I could not stop it. The wallpaper seemed to be taking over my mind, to be controlling me. I could not escape its grasp. I begged my husband to take me away from this room, to save me from the wallpaper. But he would not listen. He said that I was imagining things, that I needed to rest and be quiet. He said that he loved me, that he was doing this for my own good. But I knew that he was lying. He wanted to control me, to silence me. He wanted to keep me locked away, to make me his property. He wanted to break my spirit and make me into a meek, obedient wife. I knew that I had to escape, to break free from the wallpaper and from my husband. I knew that I had to save myself, before it was too late. I waited until my husband was asleep, and then I got out of bed. I walked to the door, and I opened it. I stepped into the hallway, and I saw the sunlight streaming through the windows. I felt the fresh air on my face, and I knew that I was free. I walked down the hallway, and I saw the front door. I opened it, and I stepped outside. I saw the trees and the flowers and the sky. I saw the freedom that I had longed for. But as I looked around, I realized that I was still in my prison. I was still trapped in my mind. I knew that I would always be trapped in the wallpaper. It would always be with me, always controlling me. I walked back into the house, and I closed the door behind me. I walked back to my room, and I lay down on the bed. I stared up at the yellow wallpaper, and I knew that I would never escape. I lay there, staring at the wallpaper, as the darkness closed in around me. And in the end, I knew that the wallpaper had won, but I also knew that I had fought it with all my might. I had stood up against my husband and the doctors, against the societal expectations and the patriarchal norms that sought to silence and control me. I had fought for my own voice, my own mind, my own identity. In the end, the wallpaper may have overtaken me, but it would never truly defeat me. I would always be a fighter, a rebel, a woman who refused to be silenced and controlled. And in that, I found a sense of peace and acceptance. As I lay there, staring at the wallpaper, I knew that my story was not over. It would be told and retold, as a warning and an inspiration for other women. It would be a reminder that even in the darkest of situations, there is always hope, always a fight to be fought, always a voice to be heard. I closed my eyes, and I let the darkness take me. But even in the darkness, I knew that my spirit would live on. And that was enough. Thanks for listening.